Well, good morning, our beloveds. Our another is on the other side of the Rubicon, the one that she has been transitioning through for the last 5 years. And it is done. And with that comes a loss of identity and purpose. And yet, this time around, she knows that there are brighter and greater things ahead of her. So that leads us into the natural stage of where are you at right now? What losses are you experiencing? Where do your hurts show up right now? Where do you feel pain or insecurities or just simply dissatisfaction? So we would encourage you to notice the question instead of seeking the answer. Sit with, I am disappointed in the way that my life has played out. I am disappointed with these particular people in my life. I am disappointed with myself in how I'm not showing up for myself the way I had hoped to. Where does this sit within you? Where does it land? Maybe try to pinpoint one spot within your body where it resides or is housed. Or maybe it is everywhere, that your entire nervous system is on fire when you have a particular thought, when you notice a particular concern, when an issue arises in a way that creates overwhelm. This is your nervous system coming back online. Where you have been numb, it is thawing. It is feeling. And if you have been numb for a very long time, feeling will make you think that there's something wrong with you, when really you are returning to your natural state. But what feels uncomfortable, or maybe unfamiliar, or undesirable, or it just gives you the ick, you have been taught to feel discomfort in these types of experiences and to walk away, shut down, avoid, or maybe even normalize, meaning this is just the way life is, without addressing whatever that is. And so as we move into the Aquarian age, you will notice that you will be demanded by the universe to begin to feel again, to experience what it is to be in the human body. It is as if you have been in a coma for many years, meaning that you have been on life support, but not fully living, experiencing, processing. And now that you are back online, there is so much to work through, to remember, to integrate, to experience, and hopefully even to love. Can you love when you are in difficult moments? Because if nothing else, it shows you your capacity to survive and get through. That you are not quite as delicate of a flower in certain ways as you had thought. That you recognize that with practice, you can get through hard things. You can do hard things. And it just is reminding yourself that you can, and that you can, and that you can. There will be a point, many years down the road, where you will look back at where you are today, literally today, for example, and you will say, look at where I was, and look at where I am now. How much I have grown, how much I have changed, how much I have decapitated of my old life, removing that which harmed me or just was not desirable, by making hard choices of what was good for me, what was desirable, what was helpful, what was safe. When you lean into the safety piece, meaning I no longer wish to have people in my life who intentionally or unintentionally repeatedly harm me. I have agency. I get to choose who I allow into my life. Now, not everybody has that choice, and we recognize that. But if nothing else, if you can begin to acknowledge these concepts and to maybe pray for or ask for or designate that you wish to exit this way of life, and then to wait for a healthy and reasonably safe opportunity where you don't blow up everything, but simply walk away from what you no longer desire and give it time, build it out, plan for it, create a structure, a framework, a resiliency, a network of people who will help to guide you. We, the collective, are now building out that network that will sustain you for the coming years. Like attracts like. Vibration matters. There are many different ways to describe this, explain this, justify it, normalize it. But energy is energy, even if you don't believe that it's real or true, similar to gravity. But as you all begin to build out your scientific curiosity without the overlay of what we would call government and agenda, as more and more of you move into this space and do your own experiments of what truth looks like to you, and what we mean by truth is your own inner guidance system. And as you find others who are like-minded, similarly structured and interested, you will see that this is more normal, more real than you ever realized. And you just need to find a safe and secure community where you can begin to explore these things that were deemed satanic, unholy, devilish, wicked, dangerous. There are secret societies, as many of you know, that have built their entire legacy on esoteric knowledge. And as this information now begins to be offered to the collective, to humanity, because as a whole, the danger of you knowing is less dangerous than you not knowing. Those natural witches and warlocks who are interested in incantations to save humanity instead of harm it, those of you are being initiated, being witnessed, being invited in, being wedded to a new way which you have been aligned with your entire lives, but have been waiting to be birthed. And that is the phase, our beloveds, that many of you find yourselves in now. So continue to be on the lookout for trainings and teachings that align with you, and remain steadfast and loyal to that while it feels like truth, soft, generative, and inviting. And the moment that there is structure, rigidity, demands, divisiveness, you walk away. Many will be challenged in these times, including the holy ones. Many will be decapitated because that is just the nature of the ego. And many will arise to new heights because their ego allows them to be what this is without attachment to the outcome. That is the most difficult piece here, and many of you are mastering it within the construct of where you find yourselves. And many of you are still struggling, and that is absolutely okay, because you don't wish to graduate to the next level until you have mastered this particular lesson, whatever it is. It is not about graduating. It is about learning the material, exploring it, and becoming it. And the more you focus on the learning and not the pedigree, the degree, or the fame that goes with it, the more you will lean into the mystery of the unknown, knowing that the esoteric knowledge is divine and sacred like the geometry, and the fractals continue just to get smaller and smaller. So the further you go down into this rabbit hole, the more nuanced the lessons become, and the more intrigued and almost encapsulated you will become in learning more, becoming more, being more, experiencing more. The curiosity of, I know not what I know not, and I know very little, will inspire you to grow. And for those who don't have this stage of curiosity, and you stand or sit down on the wayside, just watching others run by as they run their own marathon, you can just sit and watch and cheer them on. There's no need for you to run the race if you don't feel compelled or competent right now. Do not allow anyone to judge you, force you to be something you are not. Sit with learning who you are based on your own desires and expectations, and not of the construct within which you find yourselves. There is so much more around the corner, around the bend, that many of you can sense or feel, but not fully understand or appreciate yet. When it arrives, you will get the knowing that you have had in your body, that you could sense this. And when it hits, you will begin to recognize that your gifts too are real and that they're meaningful. And so just lean into it. The curiosity of the unknown, trusting that while you do have some legitimate concerns and worries, that everything is in order, that we have a plan on this side, and that it needs to look a particular way in order to awaken the masses from their deep slumber. And oftentimes that feels like a deep, dark rumbling to awaken you from your deep sleep. Somebody grabbing you by the shoulders and shaking you almost violently as they're trying to awaken you back to consciousness. And it feels uncomfortable and maybe even terrifying to experience this rumble, but maybe this is what will bring you back to life. Being shocked in the heart after you flatline probably does not feel great, but it restores the existence on this earthly plane, and you will be thankful for it afterwards. Believe in yourselves, in your journey, in your purpose, and in your reverence for everything that is holy and sacred based on how you define it, interpret it, and experience it. That is your own inner knowing telling you what you are aligned with and what you are not, and recognize that it will change with time as you experience things that were needed to occur, and then you move on to something new and different. It is okay to change your life, your belief systems, and the people with whom you surround yourselves. These are merely a reflection of the stages within which you find yourselves. And as the scene in the movie called Your Life changes, sometimes so do the actors, the location, the props. And then you just move into a new actor's role, and it is okay. You will again find a deep purpose and satisfaction once you have settled into the discomfort of not knowing where you are at or where you are going. When things feel unusual or uncomfortable or maybe even deceptive, you will figure it out. Primarily and mainly, look to and for the patterns. When you find the patterns, you will recognize where you are, why you are there, and what you need to do to move on. That is it, our beloveds, and so it is. Namaste.